Hello, Carrie, and hello, everyone. Today's actually the last episode of this series. So we're going to take a little break for a few months and come back in August. I'm really excited to have you here, Carrie. I'm going to hand it over to you to introduce yourself and say a little bit about what your poem's about today.
Okay, so thank you so much for having me. Um, so I am, as you said, I'm Carrie. I am a Gestalt psychotherapist and I work with ostomates, basically people that have had surgery to have a stoma created.
Yeah,
Um, so the reason I started doing that, I'll take you back when I was 20, I think I was 22. I was diagnosed with quite severe ulcerative colitis. And for a couple of years, we tried medications and they weren't working. And it got to a point where I was told I needed life altering surgery. And at the time, I was going through a divorce. I was dealing with um, terminal a dad who was had been told he had terminal cancer, and this knowledge of having this life changing operation. Also had a 2 year old, so for the first 2 years I couldn't be a proper mum because I was in so much pain, and so I have this surgery, and it was probably the most traumatic thing to ever happen to me. Um, and I remember thinking I really need someone to talk to. So
yeah,
nobody spoke to me before the surgery. It was just a matter of, okay, you're going for surgery. See you on the day. Go in. They mark you. That's it. You come out. Bye. Recover. Go home. And I just thought there was no follow up. There was nothing. And I remember when I had started to recover, I thought to myself, this is wrong. Why have I not got somebody that understands what I'm going through, that gets it? And I was actually assigned to a therapist who I sat in front of, and I started talking to her, and she stopped me and she said, "I'm really sorry, Carrie. Should I don't deal with all of this." And it was almost as if what I went through was completely negated. And one of the reasons that I chose to work with ostomates is because for me, it's so important to sit with someone who can say to you, you know what, I get it.
mm,
And they actually know that what you're saying is true.
yeah,
And it was, it was very empowering to get to a point where, with all the pain and suffering I'd been through, um, I found some sort of comfort from what I had to endure. And I think it wasn't just a one-off surgery. I've had 17 bowel surgeries over the
wow,
course of 28 years. And I'm actually on my fourth stoma. And I've sort of become a bit of a, I don't say pro, but I know the ins and outs of everything.
yeah.
And I get it. I get it.
Mm.
The people that I sit opposite. Yeah.
I can really hear how isolating that experience
Mm.
was for you when you went through that yourself, and how important it is for you to try and help others not being in that same position or feel that same way.
Yeah. And I think it's so important because I know what it's like to walk their path. And
Yeah,
my clients and also the ostomy community and people that I talk to have said the same thing. You go and see a consultant, and then you don't see them till the day of surgery. And the stoma nurses, they're lovely, they're very kind, they're very caring, but they have a huge workload, a
yeah,
huge caseload of patients. They can't spend that much time. So it's up to you, as that person who's gone through that surgery, to find somebody that you can not only connect with, but can potentially get it,
Yeah,
and really it's not just dealing with the trauma and dealing with the emotions, it's being almost empathic, but then some, you know.
yeah. And all the complexities, I can really hear all the complexities as well of everything that was going on in your life at the time,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
understanding that with other people, and that there's going to be so much going on top of what's going
yeah.
on for them. I'm really excited to hear your poem today that you've made for us.
Thank you. Do you know, I haven't actually read this. I wrote this poem, I think it was about 6 months after I'd had my very first surgery. And
Hmm.
when I read back on it, it was just, you don't realize how far you've come.
Yeah.
But okay, so the poem is entitled Life as I Knew It. I stand in front of the mirror, a tear runs down my cheek. I never could have imagined. I have no words to speak. The scars there to remind me of the suffering I sustained. Part of me now gone, and less of me remains. A young mum of a baby boy at a time when he needed me most. Unable to be there for him, not something any mother would boast. Endurance was my only option to try and keep it at bay, popping pills regularly each and every day. I realized I could continue no longer. The inevitable would have to be to calm my mind and body, a normal future I needed to see. From diagnosis to D-Day, surgery to rid me of this disease. Goodbye, colon, forever. Of this pain, I now need release. On top of all this worry, my late dad diagnosed with the big C. I was also going through a divorce, so much anger and pain inside of me. The surgery was successful, but I just felt broken and lost. This horrible, nasty, evil disease came with a very high cost. Discomfort, fatigue, and sadness enveloped me every day. Family tried to perk me up, but there was nothing they could say. My beautiful boy didn't understand why mummy couldn't play. As much as I tried, and I really did, for now there was just no way. Inside, I was screaming loudly, battered, angry, and sad. Why did this disease get me? I was unbelievably mad. Walking around every day, this bag hanging off of my side, I absolutely hated myself, and some days I wished I'd died. I'll have good days, I'll have bad, and honestly, that's okay. I've been through so much suffering, but I've decided to stay. No one else can understand my mental and physical pain. It truly is a wonder that I still remain so sane. So one day I'll make it my mission to help others who struggled like me, and hopefully all this won't be in vain. Guess I'll have to wait and see. So I raise a glass to my future, whatever it may hold. I'll face whatever comes my way and just let it unfold.
Thank you so much, Carrie. Yeah, I could really hear so many different emotions in that, and it really tells the story of everything that was going on in your life at that time.
Yeah,
There's so many emotions. I mean, regarding your 2 year old as well at that
yeah,
time, and how
yeah,
that restricted you from being the parent that you wanted to be.
absolutely. And it's quite lucky because we have a very, very good relationship. He's my only son.
Okay.
And we've talked about everything I've been through. And
Yeah.
he's been very supportive. So it worked out in the end.
Yeah. And I mean, saying it worked out in the end, at the end of your poem there, you say, hopefully it won't all be in vain,
Yeah,
and that you'll be able to
yeah,
help other people, and that's where you are now as well.
yeah, yeah. And I think that was the catalyst, actually not getting the therapy I needed, not getting the people that should have helped me find somebody
Mm,
to work through what I was going through, both pre and post surgery. But yeah, it sort of ignited something inside of me and
mm,
brought me to where I am today. So as hard as it was, I guess I'm quite grateful as well.
mhm. You going through that has put you in a position where you're able to understand how bad it is to go through that, and you're able to understand how important it is to offer help to others.
Yeah, And any therapist can sit in front of a client and be able to work with them through anything.
Yeah,
But it's like I said, working with somebody who's been through the same thing as you or similar circumstances can really change the dynamics
mhm,
in the room, very much
yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is when you're working, do you work with a wide variety of clients, or are you specialized and niching?
No, I work with general clients as well. So
Yeah,
so anyone that has any specific issues or worries or fears, I'll see. Um, but really, my specializing with ostomates
yeah,
is my baby, I guess, something that I love doing. And so yeah, it's varied, but it's my niche, it's my thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's I can tell that's what you love to do.
yeah,
And yeah, I really hope that this video gets out there actually, and
yeah,
that more people know that there are people like you out there that can help. Even as a counselor, I hadn't realized that there were people that specialize in working how you do. So
yeah.
yeah, I really hope other people see this and can come and find you.
Thank you. Thank you so
And
much. It means a
you're
lot.
welcome. Yeah, I just wanted to give you the opportunity to kind of say any last words or how that poem helped you at the time.
I think it helped me to really express how I was feeling and not being able to really share it where people understood. It helped me validate my own feelings.
Mm,
And I think to be able to write poetry or to be able to journal or to be able to write down what's going on internally is so important. And if there's anything that I could say to anyone who's going through this or any unseen disability, it's it's not about surviving or just surviving, it's about thriving.
mm.
And I get that's not always easy, but there is always someone out there. If you're not okay, there's always someone out there, as you know, that is there to listen and don't have to be alone with all of this.
Thank you so much for A for that message and B for coming on today and sharing your vulnerability with us.
Thank you.
And yeah, again, I really hope it reaches far. And yeah, this
Thank you.
is the last episode of this season. So I think we said just before we started that it's good to end with a bang from you.
Yeah, I'm not sure where to go with that. But you
Yeah.
know what? I want to thank you as well because I've watched a lot of your videos and I think you make such a huge difference to people's lives, not just getting it out there, but by telling your story as well and just allowing the therapeutic community to come together and share their own personal stories and how they work. So thank you for that. And I look forward to the next installment as well.
You're welcome. Yeah. And I mean that's been one of my main aims to kind of give therapists a voice,
Yeah.
to tell their stories. They've often got so many stories to tell, which is why they got into this role.
Mm.
And we don't say that with our clients in sessions. We're not there to talk about ourselves. So yeah, it was really important for me to offer this space to counselors to do that outside of the therapy room.
Yeah. Well, thank you from me personally. I appreciate it.
And
Yeah.
thank you, Carrie, and
Thank you.
see you in the summer, everyone.